Martin Muses. Welcome to Miss Martin Muses, where we muse upon what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, or just really ticks me off. Today we're going to talk about something that makes me so very happy indeed. It is books. Yes, it is books, precious. We endorse books here at Miss Martin Muses, and I thought I would do some Monday musings about what I have read so far this year. It's been a bit of a surprise for me because I decided to get back into my first love, which is nonfiction. Nonfiction is so much fun. It is um, just something that I really liked. And I've written nonfiction. That is the kind of writer that I am. I'm an essayist. So yay! I've picked out a few, but of course, let me put this on here. What are you reading, or what do you like? What are you reading? And let me greet the chat. Give me a second. Blah. There we go. Well, hello there. Hello there. It is the Sentinel. Good afternoon. Good afternoon indeed. And it's Cybot. Hey, great to see you. Been a long time no see. Always good to see you here. We have books we're talking about. It's like, what are you reading? But it also can be something you have read. If you want to share a book, I like to share what's good on the planet. And and that maybe as people watch these, the double pick is one stream specifically I do, but this is just a musings. So this is just everyone just lay it out, not double picks, just picks all over the place. Things to read that are good, things that won't make you mad and hate humanity and all of that good stuff. So let me see something here. I'm going to be sending out a link. Maybe some folks will join me, and maybe, oh, wait, that's the wrong stream. And maybe they won't, but that's okay. Let's see. LIB. Here we go. Gonna do this right here. Thank you, everyone, for coming in and sharing your picks. See, let me paste this. That's one thing when you are solo. It's tricky. All right. What does Zybot have to say to me? My Zybot says, not reading it at the moment, but the original Tarzan books by Edgar Rice Burroughs are eternal favorites of mine. Oh my gosh. Yes, please. I've never read them either. I see them at the thrift store, but I just haven't gotten around to watching them. We have an elf in the house. There is an elf in the house. It is Lady T. Just a quick hello. I'm rereading Game of Thrones and Dritz. Good journey, everyone. Ah, yes. Song of Ice and Fire is excellent. Hello, Teresa, says Steve. Why, hello there. Yeah, I've put a link out if you would like to join. Here is Jacob Ironside. Hello, Teresa. Why, hello, Jacob Ironside. Thank you for being here. What are you reading, or what would you recommend? Or what would you like to share? Maybe something you'd want to read. I was reading the Song of Ice and Fire because I was part of a group, and then it was put on indefinite hiatus. So I kind of stopped, but also I'm waiting for George R. R. Martin to make the announcement that The Winds of Winter is coming back. Because until that happens, oh, hail no. Hail no. Not going to read a whole bunch of books that aren't going to be finished. Cybot says, give the first one a read and you will know if it fits you. Ah, precisely. Yes. And Dritz, I have been reading Dritz. I read not the Icewind Dale trilogy. It is the one before that, but it was written later. If you have not read Forgotten Realms, oh my gosh, do so. Oh, okay, let me, I'm going to answer you, Steve, but I think I already did. Voila. Thank you all for being here. Well, I'm going to start sharing a few of my picks that I have been reading. I specifically chose in 2023. So if you want to also share what you are reading in 2023, that would also be most excellent. Jacob Ironside says a Princess of Mars book series by Edgar Rice is good too. I have not heard of that. Princess of Mars. And we have some So Say We Alls. Yes, Dritz is good stuff. Absolutely. We love Dritz here at Miss Martin Muses. The Dragonlance. Please read Dragonlance if you have not. If you are any kind of a fantasy fan, that's like the OG. And it was, of course, bought by Wizards of the Coast, which we do not endorse here at Miss Martin Muses. We don't endorse that one little bit. Not at all precious. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and share a few of these here I put together, left over from what I had put on my Twitter. Terry Brooks' Wish Song of Shannara. I believe this was the first book I finished in 2023. I read this as part of our book club on Saturdays. It was the third one of a trilogy. There is the Sword of Shannara, the Something Else of Shannara, and the Wish Song of Shannara. What was the middle one? I already forget it. At least not off the top of my head. A very good book series. Very nice. You can read the first one and not continue. So it's very much like the book Magician, that you can. It's complete as is. And then, of course, you can finish it with this trilogy. He continued on with about 200 million thousand books later, and I've heard it gets pretty wild. Maybe I'll go back to it, but currently I'm into the Rift War saga of Raymond Nephi, so I'm not going to be going on with that. Yes, and please share with me what you're reading, what you would like to read, and especially if you have been reading in 2023. But I did want to open it up because of the way, people have lives and maybe haven't been able to read a lot in this time. So Dritz is good stuff. All right, so the Wolf Wish Song of Shannara. Wish Song of Shannara was almost my least favorite of the trilogy. Is that a bad thing? I don't know. Not too pleased with it. It was okay. Oh, okay. Let's see. I have a guest popping in. Let's see. Jacob Ironside is sharing here. What is he saying? He is saying, I'm in the midst of reading Magician Apprentice. Yay! You are our MVP. He has always been reading along with us with the book club. Yes, Jacob Ironside. And hopefully, yeah, well, Jacob, I have DM'd you, so we're going to talk more about that. I'm noticed reading Magician's Apprentice, Wheel of Time, Dragon Reborn, and Without Remorse by Tom Clancy. Dang, good stuff. And all the way from the future, and a northern latitude. It is the one, the only, the Viking himself, Stieg.
Hi.
Hi. I see that you are still in your coronation clothes.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I'm glad your father got crowned on Saturday. Has he acknowledged yet that you're his son?
No.
No? Okay, so
Nothing.
you're still a bastard.
Didn't even get a CD.
Awesome. What a jerk. Well, but here at Miss Martin Muses, yes, we accept Stieg. So how's the future?
I don't know. Summerish. Soon.
Okay. This.
Yeah. Just to give Jacob a heads up. The Magician's Apprentice. In the following book, Magician's Master, there is a character that shows up that they leave behind after a while. There is a book that starts at that point, the spin-off book. Well, I'll let you know when it happens, so you can read that side story if you wish.
Oh my gosh, I know what you're talking about too. You're talking about my little boy.
Yep. The book is called Jimmy the Hand, but don't read up on it because you'll get spoiled a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love Magician Apprentice, but There are so many unbelievable moments in Magician Master. Oh my gosh. That I just can't wait to talk about. And I can't wait for all of the panel and, well, Rennie rather, and those in the chat who are reading along with us that don't know. Gosh, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Ah, so, in any case, Luffy is God. Hello, also from the future, and your sort of neighbor. At least you all are hail from the same nation. I'm reading the Divine Comedy. Holy crud! Well, I am impressed, sir. I am incredibly impressed. I have read the Divine Comedy once and read excerpts, but yeah. So, including what Purgatorio and Paradiso, very impressive. Are you reading it in English or are you reading it in your own language? I'm curious. Wait,
I've
you
read
wouldn't.
I've read Jekyll and Hyde
Mm-hmm.
back
Oh,
when I was a kid, so it was probably like a simplified version.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I love Jekyll and Hyde. Jekyll and Hyde is a fantastic book. It is
Well, I
dark
I,
as F.
I like Hyde. I don't like Jekyll.
Oh, of course. Well, you are Hyde.
No,
Oh, okay, fine. Well, you don't murder people.
no.
No, actually,
Dude,
though, you're more even keeled.
what?
You're even keeled. Jekyll's kind of Hyde's kind of insane.
Mm-hmm.
Very dark ending, but an amazing study about the dark side we all have within us. We all have a Mr. Hyde in us. But are we going to let him out? And 30 years of WrestleMania. Holy moly.
That's a book to come to grips with and flip through.
Oh no. Good one. Cybot says, yeah, I cannot say too much about modern fantasy, not enjoying a lot of it. My taste is mostly dated 100 years ago during the pulp era. Oh, are you a fan of Robert E. Howard? I'm sure you are. Good stuff. We love Conan the Barbarian and, well, everything, frankly, Robert E. Howard here at Miss Smart Muses.
He's grossly overlooked.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to be having a biography video coming out this Friday about him. I was able to visit his museum, his home, and it was really special. Cybot says, problem with reading Jekyll and Hyde now is that the big twist plot reveal is the most famous part of the story. So almost impossible not to be spoiled beforehand. Well, yeah.
You have the same problem with a lot of movies
Mm-hmm.
that were that got really popular, and if someone simply didn't watch them, then most likely they've been spoiled by memes alone.
Yeah. Sentinel says, doesn't he have a biopic where he's played by Vincent D'Onofrio? Yes. It's called The Whole Wide World, I think, with Renee Zellweger as his girlfriend. It is a very good movie. So sad, though. So sad. Because he tragically took his own life when he was 30.
D'Onofrio is such an underrated actor. The guy he's top notch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What are you eating, Steve?
Didn't think you'd notice.
Oh, sorry. Never mind. Never. You don't have to share. Sidebot says, Burroughs, Howard, and Lovecraft is my triumvirate of favorite authors. Only ones I read nowadays. Whoa. Cool. Oh, you would have loved that weekend, the 2 weekends ago when I was over at his museum. They had a lot of the original manuscripts displayed and the covers of Weird Tales. It was awesome. Salty Traveling Sea says, cheers, you beautiful people. Oh, why, thank you. Thank you very much.
Hello,
Always
Salty.
good, yeah. Always great to see you here. I love your Woo Wednesday with Purple Valkyrie. They talk about aliens and all sorts of stuff.
So it's perpy.
Um, yeah, he calls her Perpy.
Yeah, I got tired of saying purple Valkyrie, so I just okay, Perpy.
Yeah, so he gives
Then
everyone nicknames. I'm Rosie, and Lady
yeah,
Gravemaster is Gravy. What's
yeah,
Mara?
Mara,
Oh,
short name.
okay.
No need to mess with it. Yeah, I'm too lazy to speak.
Okay. Luffy's God said, I'm spoiled, Cybot, like Steak. I know the story since I was a kid. Never read the book, though. Oh, and most times I read in English. Okay. Yeah, thank you for that. Yes, Steak's the same. You read in English mostly.
I've oh, since the mid '90s. I don't think. Well, I've read 2 years ago. I reread a Morgan Kane novel, which is a western, Norwegian western.
Hmm.
Read that one in Norwegian, but since other than that, I think I've been reading English solely since the '90s.
Yeah.
Actually, haven't. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing. That's interesting. You said that you read Morgan Kane in Norwegian. It's a Norwegian writing a Western of an American, and I read his story in English. So, uh, it, whole wide world. Salty traveling sea says Tim Powers, Robert Jordan, Amen and Hallelujah. Pierce Anthony, you're a fan of Pierce Anthony, aren't you, Steve?
No, I have never read it.
Oh,
I've been wanting to get into Piers Anthony, but uh, I have probably over 100 books I haven't read yet. So I need to finish collecting the ones I have been collecting and also
mhm.
read them and then move on to something else. I think so. I'm trying to hold back, but Piers Anthony is definitely on my list.
Okay. Then I was mistaken. Maybe I was thinking of Abercrombie.
Joe Abercrombie.
Yeah, thank you. You saved that
Yeah,
from my
I highly recommend Joe Abercrombie to anyone who likes dark, gritty fantasy.
Okay. So you got it here. You see, isn't this great? Look at all of these things that you're we're suggesting to each other. Good stuff to read. Good stuff to read. Yeah, he's amused by you calling her perpy.
Well, I've been
Yeah.
saying Perpy since, well, over a year.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good question. Does manga count as reading books?
Mm,
Well, yeah, because
I'd say in between, because it's mangas are graphic novels, right? But they're still comics, but they're like in between comic book and the novel.
mhm. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's
So
kind of.
I'd say if you read one manga, sorry, if you read two mangas, it counts as one book.
Oh, well, there you go. But as always, I encourage any reading is good reading. Oh, yeah, you
Yeah.
you have yeah, audiobooks and the like. Yes, I understand biggles rather. Luffy's God said, "I'm on my One Piece book of 1,000, so they better count." Helps that's more. Hey, that's more comics. I'm not entirely sure what that is. Help me out. I'm ignorant.
I
Uh,
think One Piece is manga.
oh, I see. Perhaps Salty Traveling Sea says Zankt series is very worth it, in my humble opinion. Well,
Yeah,
there we
it's
are.
a Pierce Anthony series. And you know what? I had a video game, point and click adventure game from back in the day. It was called the Champions of Santh. It was based on the Pierce Anthony books.
There you are. uh, I don't know. I can't read light novels versions. Too many words, says Biggles. Okay, understood. Understood. One Piece is a pirate manga. Oh, that sounds fun. We love
Hmm.
pirates here at Miss Mark Muses.
Probably rated R.
Ah ha ha ha. All right. So yeah, this was a fantasy one. I just took a sample of the books that I have finished this year and so far. But of course, you can all choose anyone. No rules. Oh, The Hidden Lives of Tudor Women: A Social History. This is a nonfiction book. I am a historian, a real one, and social history is a large focus of mine, but particularly my theses dealt with the effects of the English Reformation on the development of the First Amendment in the United States. So, what happened during the break from Rome and with Henry VIII, the War of the Roses, Henry VII, Henry VIII, Queen Mary, Queen Elizabeth. It's something that I study a lot. And this is really good because it talks about not just the things that happened. There were many people that were executed on all sides of the religious debate. Everyone was getting burned, or one particular Catholic martyr was crushed with a stone. I don't know why they thought that was better than burning. I don't know which I would want. But everyone was being executed left and right. And but also it goes into details about sanitary issues. It's a social history, sex, the work that women would do, the day-to-day lives, the social history of from the queens all the way down to the peasants. So this is a really good book. Um, Sounds like a book about hookers. Well, that was part of it. And look what we have. We have an elf in the house. We have an elf. It is the one, the only, the amazing, the beautiful Lady Toriel.
Okay, I can't compete with that.
Hello.
She's have hello. She's having interference from the aliens, but yeah. So the hidden lives of Tudor women. I love this stuff. So that's just something that I read and I read a lot. If you are interested, especially about the day to day lives of how women dealt with certain things, if you know what I mean, and their food, their property rights, all of that, this is the book for you. Very good. I highly recommend it. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, Steve, you don't really read. Do you read a lot of nonfiction? I don't think I've heard you talk
Um,
too much about it.
no, not really. I read to give my brain a vacation.
Okay. Wow, we're sounds like a turn signal.
No, it was me. I'm rolling my window a little better.
Your sound is coming, or rather, your voice is very low.
Mhm.
Mm, I have it up as high as it'll go. So,
Okay, we can hear you a bit better there. Well, of course, you like the royals, so there's a lot about the royals in this Hidden Lives of Tudor Women.
yes, love the Royals. Need to write some more books on the Royals. Um, I do read nonfiction every once in a while. I've been reading a lot of fiction,
Yeah.
but yes, I do like nonfiction also.
Yes. I think we've read some of the same ones, like Courtiers. I think we both read that one this year too.
Hmm. Except you're ahead of me. You got to read The King, and I haven't read it yet.
Oh yes, yeah. I was a mad woman. I read them all before the coronation, which I think. Speaking of which, there we go. This is another one. This is the first biography of King Charles that came out after he was king. So this is a really good book. If oh my gosh, Maple Leaf, um, this is a really good book if you care about this stuff and very updated. And it'll probably give you a lot of things you didn't know about Charles. A lot of us, I think, we were so focused on Diana. I was my whole life, as a little girl watching the wedding and all that. That we didn't learn a lot about what Charles did, except for who he was doing. So this is a good one, and it also talks about his relations, his second wife Camilla and his sons. So yes, and please, everyone coming in, please let me know what you are reading and or what you like to read, or even a favorite book.
Which Dretz book are you on now, Toriel?
Um, One right after the long drought. I can't remember the name. I've been going through and trying. I'm reading Shannara, Game of Thrones, Blitz. Um, whew. So it's kind of my brain is getting scrambled. Plus listening to all the coronation stuff.
Hmm.
But it's the second book in that series.
So after the Lone Drow, that's probably, is it the Two Swords maybe?
No, I read the two swords already. I think it's the third one because I got them out of order. I thought the bone came after the two swords.
Your
Yeah.
voice goes in and out.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Tori. Yeah, we're having trouble hearing you.
It sounds like you're moving, like you're kind of like in a rocking chair, moving to and from the microphone.
No, I have my earphones in because that's the only way I can hear you guys.
It's probably a microphone issue then.
Yeah. Just speaking of a microphone issue, the cats
Okay,
have
is
appeared.
that better?
Oh,
Now
I'm
you're
moving.
underwater. Oh,
come back. I think we almost got you there. Okay, while we're fixing this, Biggle says, shouldn't you be beheaded if you cheat on the queen? Well, hypothetically, maybe. You would get beheaded if you were the queen who cheated on the king. That was considered an act of treason. And it was really an issue because we didn't have DNA. It could mess up the whole succession. So that is why Henry VIII's fifth wife was beheaded because she was dumb enough to cheat on him.
so
But
basically she gave someone else head, so he took her head.
oh dear.
Oh my gosh.
You're not wrong.
No, I feel that's accurate.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know exactly what acts she performed with her lover, but Diana cheated on Charles too. She actually cheated first, though one could argue Charles maybe was cheating in his heart, but he didn't resume the affair till 86, and Diana had her first affair in 84. They both cheated on each other, but for some
Tunnel
reason,
vision.
that's never brought up.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay, is
based
this any better?
off with her head, says Biggles. Yes. Well, that's just the way it was, and I'm almost positive nowadays they probably do DNA tests because there's just so much at stake. Oh no, the Sentinel says no wonder there was so much inbreeding. They were all blanking everyone else. Oh no. The only way to keep the family in line was to keep it all in the family.
Well, basically, there's no family tree. There's a circle.
Gee.
It really means
Yeah. Well, and then the people on the continent. Yeah, well, yeah, they would each marry each other. Well, Philip, he was King of Greece, Prince Philip. Yeah, I'm sorry, Lady Toriel, we just can't hear you.
Okay, how about now?
Oh,
There
there
you
you
go.
go. Yay.
Okay, probably one of the best Doctor Who's that I ever saw was called Tooth and Claw, I think, with David Tennant, and it was all about them going back to the Elizabethan time,
Hmm.
and it had to do with the royal family and what you were talking
Okay, we lost you again, but I did hear you say David Tennant. Yes.
about. Okay, how about now?
Okay, there
Yeah,
you go.
a lot better.
Okay, I have to put my hand underneath my phone for some reason. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we lost you again. It's like you come in and out. I don't know. Well, I don't think that StreamYards works very well with the blankety blanket
Phone,
phones. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's good again.
But yeah, if you ever have a chance to see that episode, it had to do with Queen Elizabeth the First and what you were talking about.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, I don't know if I think I've seen that one. So you're talking about Doctor Who.
Yes.
Yeah. Gosh,
I've
Doctor Who
never
is so
seen a
good.
single episode of that show.
It was really good, Steve, until it went off the rails.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
the
don't want
David.
to talk about that. No.
Yeah, they did one with Queen Victoria too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good
Yes.
stuff. Yeah, so our poor guy was waiting 70. What was the joke? He waited 74 years to get a job. So, although he did have a job, obviously he did a lot of work. So okay, and then
Yes,
another.
you did.
Oh, sorry. Yes, another one I have here, The Republic of Pirates. This is also a nonfiction one. I like pirates, real pirates, and it goes into some good social history in this as well. Just reminding
Well,
you that being a pirate wasn't cool.
seriously, go watch Black Sails.
I know, I
Been telling
know.
you for years, watch Black Sails. It's prequel
Yeah,
to
it
Treasure
is.
Island.
Oops, sorry, Steve. That is excellent.
Yeah, it's like Game of Thrones with pirates.
Okay, well, I just didn't like some things in the first season, and it made me quit it.
Then you're
But
lost
okay, I'm lost.
at
It's all
sea.
my.
Some of it's a rough watch,
Yeah. Okay.
but
We lost you a bit there again, but well, I quit. Well, the main character I thought was not likable in that
He's not
in the book.
supposed to be. He's a pirate.
Yeah. Well, I guess because as this book shows, the pirates weren't nice people. They were actually horrendous.
Yep.
Also, the amount that would die. I mean, the death rate because they would get disease, they would get dysentery, and it would just go through the whole ship, and they'd all croak. It and die a terrible death, die of dehydration.
They're like, shit ahoy. Sorry.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Hello, Tommy. Thank you for being here. Biggle says pirates are cool. They would throw people overboard and drag them under the ship. Well, yeah, that's the other thing. You didn't mess around.
Yeah,
You,
and the underside of the ship was full of, barnacle stuff. And so you got shredded.
yeah, they keel hauled them.
Yeah.
Is what it's called. They were keel hauled.
yeah. Well, you didn't want to mess around. Well, they had to be that way too. Well, because for one thing, they were crooks and rapists and all that fun stuff, but they couldn't afford to have disloyalty.
No.
Yeah, not to mention the dangers of drowning that would occur when it was very dangerous to be on a ship. Soul Assassin says, "Hello, Soul Assassin. Stig is right. The Black Sails is very good." Liffy's
I
God said,
saw someone further up saying that he's reading the Witcher series. I
Mhm.
highly recommend that one. It's fantastic.
Yes.
"Throw a coin to your Witcher." Like the Witcher TV show lost its way, but we still have the books.
It barely had its way, to be honest. They did a couple of episodes that did some of the short stories justice, but other than that, it's unrecognizable.
Well, yeah, I would know because I haven't read it yet. I haven't been playing the game though. It's going to probably take me 200 years. And then Stephen King's Dark Tower series. Yes, that was his magnum opus. I think anything after that he read is garbage. Wrote is not as good, not as good. And he's such a jerk. It
But
makes it difficult.
the guy can write. I'll give him that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Liffy's God said, "It's a pirate's life for me. I'm gonna be the pirate king." Mm-hmm. One aspect of the Pirates of the Caribbean that was accurate, featured in the second movie, that they didn't like women on ships for several reasons. It was considered bad luck. And these movies always tend to have like women pirates. There was maybe one, and she was married. It was like a total different exception. But most women who were caught on a pirate ship, it didn't end well for them. Let me put it
Oh,
to you
well,
that way.
you had Anne Bonny and the other one. There were two of them.
Yeah, I think those were the ones I was thinking of. And both of them got executed, didn't they?
Uh, Anne Bonny, I think, survived because she said she was pregnant.
Oh, yes. It's called pleading the belly.
Yeah, she pled the belly and ended up in jail, and then she was released and just vanished
Hmm.
later on.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Anne Bonny is in Black Sails as well.
Sentinel says he's got a music video on his channel dedicated to it. Well done. Oh, people saying hi to each other. Regal says, "I know what it is called. I just can't spell it. LOL." That's cool. That's cool. Soul Assassin says the medical treatments killed more than any harlot back in the pirate days. Yeah. Hey, he's sick. Let's drain him of blood.
Yeah, take his blood out and clean it.
Oh, Chrysanthus here. Hello, that's my cousin, another flower. Yes, Sentinel and Bonnie from Black Sails. Wow, I'm so glad to see you all here and all the interaction. Except the Chinese, the most badass pirate was a woman. I was just about to say that. Soul Assassin and Bonnie and Mary Reed. Thank you, Mary Reed. Mary got away because supposedly her rich dad pulsed her strings. That could also be part of it as well.
Mary Reed also dressed as a man, I think, to avoid being shagged.
Yeah. Shagged involuntarily.
Well,
Yeah. So this isn't the greatest of books. I thought that it got bogged down sometimes and didn't have focus, but individually it gives some good stuff. It also talks about Blackbeard.
Toriel, when you're reading the Dritz stuff, there's a pirate Dritz book coming up
Ooh,
very shortly. It's called The Pirate King.
Well, there you go. Yes, we like our
Spoiler, Dritz kills them. Because that's what he does, right?
elves, pirates, panthers. Okay. There
Yep.
we go. Dwarves.
Yeah, he'll set the panther on them.
Oh, the Panther, my boy. He's the best character of the whole lot.
Well, she.
Sorry. I'm a sexist. I misgendered the Panther.
Technically, that's a black female in fantasy.
You're right. How diverse.
And Dritz is a black male.
Yeah, dark elf.
No. He's completely black, though.
Yeah, with red eyes.
Purple.
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 Sorry, I'm new to it. I'm a horrible person. Okay. Tommy is also telling us about Bonnie. The prevailing story is his father bailed her out. He was rich. The court documents about the end of her incarceration were lost. Okay. Thank you. Sounds racist, says Big Holes. Well, you know what? Now they are calling it all racist and they're trying to change it in the stupid 5th edition.
They already did in the later Dritz books.
Yeah.
They changed the entire lore of the Dark Elves.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. Wait, actually, though, that wasn't. I don't think we can blame that one though. On the 5th edition, wasn't that when the 4th edition came out that they did that change?
No, they did basically kind of a catastrophe happens in the Forgotten Realms.
Mm-hmm.
So it alters the way magic works, and that had effect on characters. And I'm not going to spoil anything. 5th edition though starts retroactively altering lore because the old lore wasn't politically correct enough. So I'd say, I've read, well, there's 2 Dritz books I haven't read yet, so the 2 latest ones. But I read the ones before, and that's where they did the changes, the trilogy before. But it was still fun. The author still did the character justice and Dritz's friends and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not all doom and gloom. But you will sit there and go, hey, if this is how it really was, then that stuff back there can't possibly make sense. You know,
Yeah, I feel for the writers in this scenario.
he had no choice. You basically do it or be a racist.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, have you gotten to those books yet, Toriel?
No, and I'm very glad I haven't yet.
Okay.
what's going to happen is when she gets to that, I'm going to get an angry DM.
Uh-oh, yeah, because we
Yeah,
always blame Stieg.
yeah,
Everyone,
I'll be throwing things across the room going, wrestle, 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 wrestle.
yeah. However, some of the bad things that they did with the fourth edition changes gets fixed by the writer,
Ah, well done. He's a great writer.
because when they had the meeting, a lot of the novelists were like, "Yeah, this isn't going to work. This is going to be a train wreck, right?" So they immediately behind the scenes started coming up with a way to kind of almost retcon it as best they could. So it was already in place when they needed to do damage control.
Well, there you go. Well, Soul Assassin's very happy to see you, Lady Toriel.
Yeah. So basically, Toriel, if you like Dritz, they're not going to change Dritz. So I think you're still going to like the books. So you're not stepping into a total train wreck.
Well, that's good because both of you know he's my favorite,
Mm-hmm.
all-time favorite so far. So,
Yeah, I I had a I had a hunch that you would like those because you like elves, and I was like,
yeah.
she probably likes panthers too. So I told Tori, hey, you should read the Dritz books. And then
Oh, yes.
like 2 weeks later, I've read 4 books. What have you done to me?
Yes, there's certain animals that I like. I like panthers, I like wolves, and I like hawks.
Oh, well, everyone, yeah, I like cats. Oh, speaking of cat, death nabbit.
Guys, I'm gonna have to pop off now because I have to go to work. It was great talking to everybody. I just wanted to pop on. Thank you, Teresa, for letting me join in for this short period of time. Everybody in the chat, take care because I can't do this much. Good journey to everyone, and I will talk to everybody later.
Hey, thank you, Lady Toriel. We love you.
Have a splendid day.
Okay, so, yep, we had an appearance from the elf. Tommy says, I have too many books on the age of pirates. The truth about them is a lot less adventurous. Yes, correct. Very monotonous, very, yeah.
More gangster than swinging from the ropes and fighting. You know.
Yeah, and death and
Yeah.
pestilence and
Not Errol Flynn stuff.
no STDs, and they didn't look good either.
No.
Yeah, think about the Pirates of Penzance too. I mean, the idea of the goofy pirate, yes, not good. Yeah. Now this is a book that I just finished about a month or so ago. The Talon of the Silverhawk. This is much later after Magician, Apprentice, and Master, and all that, and it's a total new character called Talon of the Silverhawk. That's his name, and just wanted to point this out that if you have not read the Rift War series, starting with the book Magician Apprentice by Raymond E. Feist, read them. They're so good. And they go on. I don't know how many total books. It's got to be at least 30.
Well, with the spin-offs, it's probably 30.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a spin-off trilogy that takes place during Magician, from the enemy's point of view, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's 3 spin-offs about side characters.
Okay.
One of them being Jimmy, who shows up in Magician.
Yeah, we love Jimmy.
The other one is a murder mystery. It's like a whodunit story set in the Magician world, or Midkemia, as it's called.
Murder in Lamut.
Yeah, Murder in Lamut.
Question for you, Stieg. Have you ever heard or seen the 90s cartoon Pirates of Dark Water, sci-fi pirates?
No, I have heard of it, but I've never watched it, because a lot of the cartoons from the 90s were not that available in in Norway, especially where I lived, because I'm kind of in the outskirts. Even though I'm next to, well, I was next to a city, but if you were away from the big cities or something, you wouldn't have access to channels,
Oh,
because you needed a TV signal and all that, and lots of mountains and islands, and the stuff like that needed to be developed and put in place, right?
mm-hmm.
So you needed a big fat satellite dish to get a lot of the channels. I mean, we had to begin with up until I think in '89 or something, we had one channel,
Yeah.
and then we got two, which was think about that. You only have one channel, and then you get two. That's a you know
A huge deal.
that yeah. All of a sudden, you have 100% more,
Yeah.
and then two more came along, and the rest you needed a kind of like a satellite dish for.
Yeah, when I was in Ireland, most of the time I was there in Ireland, we only had two channels, RTE1 and RTE2. And then eventually we got cable, so we got, was it ITV, some British ones, and BBC. But yeah, that was a different time, especially if you lived in Europe.
No,
Bigglesmet says, Norway sounds like they hate cartoons. Well,
no,
no.
they basically hated making everything available for everyone.
Yeah, they hated kids who lived on islands.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, in any case, if you have not read the Riftwar Saga, especially Magician Apprentice and Magician Master, go ahead and read them because they are in the process of being adapted, and it's by the former Lucasfilm storybook writer. Gosh, once upon a time. So it's gonna suck. I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm not gonna pull this. I'm gonna wait and see. No, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So read it the way it was supposed to be. So this is just where I am right now in that.
yeah. You're basically. Well, actually, I'm going to count, and I'm going to count Magician as one because it's one book now. It's not split in two anymore.
Hmm.
You know, so I'm going to yeah keep yapping while I count.
Okay, Steve's gonna count, and of course, Magician Apprentice, which we're gonna finish this week, and on our stream on Saturday, the first half, like where it is split into, and look at this lovely cover. This is the one I bought, I obtained on behalf of Stieg, the hardback. And when I saw it when it came in the mail to me, it was gorgeous. The pictures do not do it justice. This is probably one of the prettiest covers I've seen. The colors are so vibrant.
There's 30 books,
30.
but that spin-off trilogy, uh, from the Surani point of view, is optional, and the three standalone spin-off books are optional. So technically 24 if you just want to read the basic story,
Okay.
or rather the main story.
Yep. Well, there we go. But I highly recommend it. And if you want to catch up with us, I will be in the process of putting these into a playlist so you can read them at your own leisure along with us after the fact. I was Lorena. Oh, that's the end of my little thing here. Lorena Crail was telling me last night that she is finally going to be starting the Lord of the Rings, and she's going to be listening to the commentaries and the chapter by chapter we did with Lady Toriel, with Lady Gravemaster, Princess Rennie, and Stieg and myself. It got a little wild sometimes, but I think that we really enjoyed revisiting all of Tolkien's works, including the Silmarillion, which was a bit of an uphill battle. That's a very difficult book, not only to read but also to talk about because it is so different from the other one, the other ones, which is they are narratively based. So yeah, I was just telling everyone, Steve, that this is the one I got for you, or obtained on your behalf. Magician Apprentice. We love Magician Apprentice here at Miss Smart Muses.
You have 10 books left.
10 books. Okay, well, I need to get my rear end in gear. And then I plan to read the spin-offs. I really like them. But probably when I finish this the main story, I'm gonna go back to Drizzt. I want to read some more Drizzt, the Icewind Dale trilogy.
No,
Yeah.
that one's fun.
All right. Well, as we start to kind of wind down this party, uh, please chat. Speak now or forever destroy your happiness. If there's any other books or that you have been reading, or what you would like to bring up, or maybe even a book you would like to read.
You haven't asked me what I've been reading.
I'm a terrible human being. You're
I
right.
know. It's like, chat, tell me what you're reading, not you, Stig.
Yeah. Everybody but Steeg. I am so sorry.
No,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. It's fine. I just realized it when you said, "Tell me what you're reading."
Yeah. It's like, yeah. Everyone but Steeg. So, Steeg, what are you reading?
Well, the book on the screen with you and Jacob and Rennie and hopefully a lot of other people. And I've been reading Jimmy the Hand, which takes place during Magician Master, because I want to. I've never read it before. I'm reading several books. I'm reading that new Chuck Dixon Conan novella. I'll call it a novella because it's only at 100 and I think it's 129 pages.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm halfway through that one. It is okay. I'm not getting the this is great thing from it. But it's a standalone thin book with a Conan adventure. So you're not supposed to expect Shakespeare either, right?
Yeah.
But I'm so far landing on a 5 or a 6 for that one. But the second half might be better, right?
Yes.
And I'm also reading the second book in the latest Joe Abercrombie trilogy. So,
Well, there you have it. Soul Assassin says, haven't read anything lately, been busy, but looking forward to reading the new Conan book, Siege of the Black Citadel, in the Old Republic collection when it comes out. Well, there you are.
yeah, that's the one I've been reading. Sorry. It's the Siege of the Black Citadel. That's the one I'm reading. I'm landing on a 5 or a 6. I'm gonna be honest. You know.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's not terrible either.
Yeah. Well, when I read the Conan stories, even the ones by Robert Jordan, we're not, as you say, talking about Shakespeare. Even a bad Conan book is better than a crap new book. And they're fun.
Yeah, it's pure escapism. It's Conan on some new adventure. It's, in my opinion, the Conan stories have more in common with James Bond and Indiana Jones, and even westerns, because you basically you have the Bond girl of the story, right? And Conan kind of stumbles into some kind of adventure, and there's kind of a power mad villain and with some cool henchmen and stuff like that. And then when you're done with the story, it's kind of done, even though others tie into it a little bit. But so yeah, in my opinion, it's Conan has more in common with James Bond and Indiana Jones.
Yes. Good point. Well, and when you said Western, it just reminded me that Robert E. Howard also wrote Westerns. So that was what he was
Yeah,
starting to get into when he, you know, his
yeah. The
tragic
and
end.
to comment on Soul Assassin, I will only do honest reviews. I will. You know me well enough. I think I'll say exactly what I thought of it, because I'm not going to recommend that people spend money on and time on something that I wouldn't want to spend money and time on myself, especially in hindsight, right?
Yes. And yeah, honest, honest to a fault. Is, and that's fine. We were talking last night, me and Luffy is God. He was in the chat, and you're talking about Scandinavians and Germans.
Yeah.
You never have to guess, and that's a good thing. Soul Assassin. Oh, sorry, Tommy agrees. Soul Assassin. There should be nothing but, in my opinion. Yeah. What's the point? Tommy says, although if something you like has bad aspects, you can't hold back, even though it sucks.
No,
Yeah.
I fully agree. I mean, if you're going to praise a book for its good parts, you have to be open and honest if there's bad parts too, you know.
Yeah.
But if it's something you just didn't like, that doesn't mean it's a bad part.
No.
But you might have, you know, some of my favorite books, uh, do have like a plot hole in them or something, you know.
Hmm. Well, even I was telling you, we were saying that my favorite, the Bible, even has a few plot holes, and that's okay. Biggle says Teresa can say whether or not I am a good reviewer based on my ransom Snow White. Yes, actually, Biggles. Uh, I want to give mad props to Biggles. As if you want to see some, in my humble opinion, really good reviews, her Biggles and Stephanie were on my channel doing Once Upon a Time, and Biggles, he knew his craft. I really enjoyed doing those reviews together, and yeah, not only he's not afraid to not only to crap on Snow White, but even aspects of Captain Swan or anything to do Once Upon a Time. I'm just saying that was a very good series. I really enjoyed that, and we got to do Wonderland. Maybe Biggles, it might
Oh,
just have to be you and me, and then we're gonna, if the other panel can't join us, it'll just be the two of us, because I think that those, if I must say so myself, I
uh,
enjoyed
I have
those.
a I have a question.
Yes.
If the if the seven dwarves are really thirsty, right?
Oh no.
How would you fix that easily? Or
Is
how
that
would Snow White fix it easily?
this is a dirty joke, isn't it?
All she has to do is undress, and they'll get a 7 up.
Thank you, Tommy, for being here. Gosh darn it, Steve. Biggle says Snow White is awful. I want to hit her with the yellow bug. That means he wants to run her over with a car.
And
Yeah.
Bumblebee.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Oh, that's Biggle's dream. Yeah. Yeah. Snow White. I don't hate Snow White as much as Biggles does, but she has some very annoying characteristics and has a way of getting everybody killed. So beware of Snow White. Yeah. Oh gosh, he liked that. There we are. Snow White's a slut. Oh dear me. No, good times, good times. Well, is there anything else that you want to highlight that you are reading or will be reading, Steve?
Uh, no,
Hmm.
don't think so.
Okay. I want to make sure I
Well,
ask.
more Dragonlands.
Mm,
I've been plowing through Dragonlands, you know, at a steady pace and enjoying every damn one. So much
hmm.
fun.
No, there you are. Yeah, I love Dragonlance. I really love them. I was only going to read the first three, but I just couldn't stop myself, and I read the next trilogy, the Twins trilogy. Really like Raceland. I
Yeah,
know everyone likes Raceland, but I do.
basically, the Dragonlance kind of starts off as Star Wars because you have two trilogies and everything springs out from that.
Hmm.
You know,
Good point. And she has that skill, or Weiss and Hickman rather have the skill that I believe Raymond Feist has. They get you to like these characters that you don't expect to like. Suddenly, you're like, "I will die for you," and so it's really good. And the old covers are magnificent, and all that good stuff.
oh yeah, the Dragonlance covers are epic. You know,
Hmm.
it's just great. It makes you want to read them immediately.
Yeah, and you can get those at half price books or other thrift stores. I get a lot of them on eBay. Stieg will send me links, even when I'm on the airplane. This one was epic, but this was a Faramir issue where he's like, "Hey, look at this Faramir," and I'm sitting there on the airplane, and I'm like, "Damn him!" And within 30 seconds, I had bought it and ordered it. It was, uh, but he does that with books, and that Very good to find. eBay's your friend. So if you don't want to give money to Wizards of the you can do that. However, remember, I'm of the opinion you can spend your money on anything you want.
Yeah, it's your money.
Yep, my money. I'll buy whatever I want, and that I am a real Disney shill. Unlike a lot of people, I actually did benefit in my Once Upon a Fan days. You should see all the stuff I got. So there. I don't get insulted by the being called a shill. Really, it's always the intent, right? All right. Biggles Met says I only read the first three. I started a second set of books in Dragonlance, and they were new people, and it was like these aren't the ones I just read, so I stopped. You know what? You probably then read the wrong next set of books.
Probably.
Yeah, because you should have gone on to the twins. Because
Yeah, if you can probably DM me or Teresa, and we'll tell you which one to do in order.
there you are. Yep. Yep. So there you go. What does Sentinel say? Soul Assassin. Agreed. Read what you want. Yep. That is what I'm thinking, says Biggles Met. Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, as Steve said, he there to help. I'll speak for myself. I want to help people read good stuff, and I'm a libertarian in so many different ways. It's like the only thing I really trip over is I really hate the fifth edition of Dungeons and Dragons. But I mean, I guess if I'm going to be consistent, I'll say fine. If people want to spend money on that, yeah,
Well,
go for it.
to be fair, no way are they gonna remove all the woke shit now, because they'll get canceled immediately if they go back on it.
Yeah.
So it's not fixable. So, but
Yeah.
all the old stuff is still there, and you could just, in my opinion, 3.5 edition is the where you should stop, right? So if you have the 3.5 edition books, and you just start collecting the source books, the Forgotten Realms books and stuff like that, the source books, you don't need anything else.
No.
You have the maps of the cities and who rules where, and all kinds of tables for what kind of monsters you encounter in this and that area. It's all there. You could just pick a place on the map and start a game there. You just don't. Just because it's new doesn't mean you need to buy it if the old stuff still works and can be used forever. You know?
And I'll throw this out, same with the Conan one that we're doing right now.
Yeah, that one you only need one book for.
Yeah, and that's second edition, or
yeah, it's second edition, but the Conan second edition is almost identical to the 3.5 edition D&D. They're made by different companies. So
yeah, so the second edition is good. I bought it because I've been trying to talk. My nephew has become a DM, and I'm trying to get him to DM a Conan one. I think that would be good for him. But I can't convince him to go 3.5. But it's like fine. But maybe I can sneak in the Conan because we love Conan. Hello, Biggles. Yes, and he will do that later. Yes. Well, hey, that's awesome, Biggles. Yeah. But baseball still sucks. Okay, no, wait, that's mean. If you love baseball, love what you love. Biggles Met says, I play the Goblin Slayer, the role playing game, and it is awesome. I'm not familiar with that. I don't know these things, so.
I think it's fairly new. I read something about it, but I've forgotten about it. I'm too retro for the new stuff now, because I'm just happy with the old stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't want to invest time and money into learning a new system and all that stuff. And let's face it, role-playing game books are expensive, even though you get a hell of a lot of hours for your money, right?
Yeah.
If you have the rule books, but it's still, yeah. I have other things to spend money on too.
And you can also throw away money like you did with me accidentally with the Return of the King.
What?
Books, yeah, it turns out they're worth like thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, a gift is a gift. For God's sake, though, sell them.
I know I'm in trouble because I haven't sold. Yeah, he gives me a gift for my birthday. It's like, oh well, I don't really want them anymore. Here, have these. And then we found out on eBay.
Yeah, I basically had 4 Middle Earth role playing game books in a closet, and I
Mhm.
mentioned it to Teresa. I said, oh, that's so cool. I'm like, do you want them? Because they're just going to lie in the closet. And yeah, she got them. And then later on, she's like, I was talking to her in a hangout or something, and then she was going to check if she could, buy more of them. And it turns out they're like selling for 300 and between 350 bucks and 500 a piece.
Yeah,
So I technically gave her about $2,000.
I know. It's like
But
best present
and
ever.
she's like, do you want them back? And I'm like, no, take them.
Yeah,
So sell them and buy a TV or something. Because
Yeah.
I'm not going to go back on a gift.
Yeah. Well,
Seriously,
we'll see.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, yeah, we were on the
But
phone.
I did
Yeah.
think like, well, shit, But no, a gift is a gift.
No good deed ever goes unpunished. He says, save them, hold out a few years, and retire. Well, I'm kind of semi-retired right now. Well, I think I've worked. Well, never mind. I'm semi-retired in the field I'm in. Let me put it to you that way. Yeah, I hurt Bagels. He's gonna cry. Please don't cry. I'll beat the crap out of you if you cry. Um, came out March of last year based on anime. Oh, that's probably why I don't know anything about it. Mostly rolls off, and I think it was $19. Well, there you go.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's not expensive for a role playing game book.
yeah. Called out. Yeah. Okay, well, we slipped into a little bit of role playing you can do, but that's technically from a certain point of view there.
Yeah, it's
So
absolutely books.
yeah, and what I'm currently reading right now is the sequel to Talon of the Silver Hawk, and the gosh, what's it called? The Prince of the I don't even know what it's called. But this
It's
the second
King of Foxes.
yeah, the King of Foxes. Thank you, the
Yeah,
King
I
of
have the
Foxes.
makeup still.
And I'm also reading a biography of Queen Camilla because royals. And then I'm almost up to 20. I am 2 books ahead of my schedule, but I'm gonna very quickly take care of that. So,
Well,
oh yeah,
I saw something fun yesterday. You know the guy who plays Skinner on the X Files?
I'm not familiar, but I'll
Well,
trust
he's
you.
basically Mulder and Scully's supporter in the FBI, kind of
Mhm.
like their boss. He married Gillian Anderson's um, double, I think.
Mhm.
You know,
Oh,
because she looks like her. So if you think about that, that's like getting the best collectible ever.
yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, you have a vintage poster. Well, I have Scully's, double.
Jacob Ironside, you are so correct. Don't cry, or Teresa will give you something to cry about. Damn right. I'm mean. I'm bossy boots and proud of it. That's what Boba Fett, Daniel Logan, he called me bossy boots. I'm like, you're right. That's exactly what I am, and you're gonna listen. He wasn't behaving himself very well. It was when he was a kid. At and I was the only one that got him in line. Um, Okay, Potato Revan says, laugh out loud, reading about royals and you call yourself Irish. Well, actually, to be fair, I'm not, I cannot technically call myself Irish because I have a fondness for Ireland, but I, of course, am an American, but I definitely identify with Ireland because I was such a little girl when I moved over there to Cork. But you can read about royals without necessarily liking them because I was telling you, I am not fond of Elizabeth I, not one little bit. Um, and I do know, having lived in Ireland during the 80s, what FTQ, you would see that everywhere in graffiti. So, um, Potato Reverend says, laugh out loud, if you die, walk it off. Yeah. Oh gosh, this is. You had to attack me while the Mets are playing like crap. Well, serves you right. I don't know what you did, but it serves you right. No, it doesn't. I'm sorry. Well, actually, my team might get relegated, so go figure. But I think they were winning the last time I looked at the score. Nottingham Forest. So. But in any case, yeah. So if some people are popping in, if you are popping in, go ahead and throw out a book. Why not? So if you want to, I think that's all I'm reading. Well, I'm always reading. I know this sounds so pious. I'm always reading the Bible. I am sorry. I'm reading Book of Acts right now because we're still in Easter. So isn't that great? So we still get to party all the time, and no one else is partying. Let's see. I also like a lot of nonfiction on the Civil War. I have literally thousands of books. That's why when I started to box them up instead of keeping them in my office and in my library, they're filling up my garage. It's ridiculous. Also, last time I was in Ireland in 2019, I was doing a lot of social history and studying of the Vikings in Cork City over by St. Finbar's and taking pictures of the roads and the names. And then COVID hit and ruined the whole planet, so I couldn't continue. Potato Reverend says you should read Rennie's diary on stream. Are Rennie? I'm not sure I understand. It might make me ignorant. But that's okay because I have no problem admitting when I don't know something. Wow. Okay, check this out. Nottingham Forest secured a vital 3 points in the fight for survival. Forest beat Southampton. Well done.
Everton won too.
Dang, the relegation battle is almost as exciting, if not more, than the winner one. Okay, Potato Reverend says, "Oh, St. Finbar's is where my family is from, and my great-great-great-great-grandmother is Michael Collins' mother. My gran had every book on him. Oh my gosh. Wow. So, yeah, you know where I'm talking about on St. Finbar's too, and all the roads have those names on them. Okay. Yeah, I see Steve. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and stop this. We're kind of off topic anyways. We're just saying hi and howdy. Yes, Steve does need to go. I guess he's going to be on with Tommy. So the Soul Assassin, I believe, put the link in the chat. So if you want to go ahead and
everyone support Tommy. He's good people. And he does a lot of work with those toy streams, with the presentation and stuff. And yeah, he's thorough.
Yeah, if you want to see good toys. It sounds weird. We're all grown-ups. It's like we love our toys. Question: what books would you suggest? Like Old Prussia? Oh my gosh. To be honest, that's not necessarily something that I have done a lot of studying on. If at all. I don't know. Yeah, it is intriguing. Or for where to start American history is positive without bias. Oh, that's a tricky one. Well, every history book has bias. So if you want like a general American history, I would say just go ahead with the Complete Idiot's Guide to American History. Those are solid. Or American History for Dummies. But you'll always have bias. That's just the way it is. And that's why, I had to weed through all of these to find the narrative, because the winners write the history. Stieg, Jacob says, shame, 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 knows your name. Oh, wait, you don't have any shame. Oh, he wrote a poem. Potato Reverend and Frank's diary was heavily edited by Otto. Well, and that's fair because, come on, there's some embarrassing thing about, well, maybe you guys aren't girls, but girls write all sorts of stuff in their diaries, or we used to, and we used to lock them up. But nowadays, everyone publishes theirs. Watch The Patriots, The Soul Assassin. I actually like the movie 1776, the musical. It's surprisingly historically accurate. And if you don't like the songs, you can skip through most of the songs.
I really need to pop on.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, Stieg.
I'm literally late.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead and leave. Thank you, Stieg, for being here. And all that stuff. Good stuff. All right.
And thank you for having me on, and thank you to the chat for being great company as always.
Yay. Okay. Thank you, Stieg. Okay. Well, there we go. Yeah, and stay tuned. Stay tuned, everybody. I'm going to be starting up a new series. I'll give you a hint. It's called Pub Crawl. If you don't know what a pub crawl is, Google it. And if you're saying to yourself, but I don't go to pubs or I don't drink, well, neither do I, not anymore. But you can still choose a pub. You can choose a real pub that you want to highlight or a fictional pub. We believe in fictional pubs here at Miss Smart Muses. Oh, says Potato Revenue. You like pub crawls? Yeah, my folks used to do that. My granddaddy, he went out and did a pub crawl. Oh my gosh. I never did. Big says, are we getting hammered? I'm not getting hammered. I guess you could if you want to, but I never recommend drinking on a stream. It never ends well. But the idea, of course, is when you go out on a pub crawl, you go from pub to pub. You're usually getting a drink. There are rounds of drinks. A way to meet new people, talk to people, have crack, and what I'm doing is subject matters that people want to talk about, though I do, as always, give a little bit of veto power because there's some things, of course, I won't talk about. Yeah, in general, my rules are I won't let anyone talk about somebody else if they're not there, and I think it's unseemly. Everyone has a right to defend themselves in certain political situations and all that. Potato Ribbon says, "Laugh out loud. I don't drink, but it's mandatory to at least attend a few." Yes. Well, yeah. You got to be careful. Cunning, baffling, and powerful is alcohol. It is. Jacob says, "I'll let you know about the idiom you sent me." Thank you. Yeah, bar hopping with Teresa. Yes, we are. Yeah, bar hopping is what we call it here. I've gotten in trouble sometimes because I spell my Teresa Teresa in English. Yes, we usually put an H with that, but I wanted the name Teresa and the way it's spelled is from Teresa of Avila. The Saint Teresa of Avila, the great doctor of the church, and we always call her Teresa, even though we say Teresa. Jacob, also, what's up, man? I know the pub crawl life, says Bigglesmet. Oh yeah, okay, potato sup, yeah. I haven't done it like 5 years, but still, yeah. Legal language. I have the right to face my accuser. Yes. Well, yeah. Well, think about it. Isn't that crappy? My opinion is especially if you're gonna say something negative about somebody, that person needs to be on the panel to defend themselves. Period. But I don't recommend that either. Why talk bad about people? Gee whiz. Oh, I know why people do it, but still. Potato Ribbon says, "Hey, can you roll your R after living in Ireland?" Hey, can you roll your R after living in Ireland? Well, yeah. Crap. R's and R's. Well, see, R's and STs, THs. Yeah, because I was really little and I learned my phonics over there from Cork. So it's like, oh my gosh. Can you roll your. And rolling R's also is a big part of singing as well. Yeah, you got to roll your R's. Technically, you should always roll your R's, but in certain kinds of literature, of course, you don't do it because it sounds stupid. A lot of Americans can't. Yeah, that's true. We don't really have it. Well, and when you speak Irish, let me see. Craig. Yeah, you do roll your R's in when you speak Irish. And yeah, Kiad. Yeah, no, wait, that's not a R. What's an R? Yeah, you roll your R's when you speak Irish. Yes, that is how you say Jesus in Irish, in English rather. Jesus, Jaysus. A little American court girl. Yes, your accent must have been hilarious. Well, like I said, I don't know. I can't roll my R's. That's why I failed speaking part of Spanish class. Really? Really? Well, let me tell you this, dude. This is what you do. If you have trouble rolling your R's, this is what I teach vocal students. Put D instead of the R. So, like, I can't remember my, like, if you're saying, like, afraid, try to put a D in there. Afraid. Wait, that's not a good rolling R. What's a good rolling R? Dagnabbit. Now I can't think of one. Um, Salve Regina. Salve Regina. Do duh, duh, duh. When I teach children, the you use animal sounds. You use bees, cats, dogs, oh, more specifically chihuahuas, and chickens. So the more you know. Yeah, Revan, I'd be interested that one day we're going to yap about this because Cork Irish I learned in Cork is very different from some of the pronunciation they do in Dublin. Bigglesmith says, I'm basically a giant child, so which animal noise is an R? Oh, you know what? We're dealing with children, so I actually wouldn't often do a rolling R with children. It was more about the head voice and finding the feel in the mouth. But that's a good question. That's a good question. Because understand, when I say children, I mean children. Potato Revan says, July 4th, I'm doing Irish versus American. Welcome on. Oh, hey, do it. Do it. Irish as far as the language or just Irish? Gosh, Ireland is so... Okay, every time I go back, there are so many aspects of it that are the same, but there are also many things that are different, and it made me really sad. Really sad. How do I say this? About certain things, we became... Ireland became like America. I know. It was... I have a hard time rolling R. Say a D. Irish. Your... Forever, we learned to run our art constantly. Red roses rise up really red. R. Potato Drevin says, Irish, the culture, the fun, the funny, the stuff. And funny, the stuff. Irish. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, Potato Revan says, yes, I understand completely. If you know, you know. Yes. But who knows? Who knows? One of the best ways that you can keep your culture alive, this was something that they did during the penal days. Keep alive the language. Keep alive the poetry, the songs, the folk songs, the children's songs. Keep alive the religion. Yeah. Say, oh no. Oh, and I know what you're talking about, Jacob Ironside, because of the rings of power. Say Mordor. Mordor. Galadriel. Numrendor. It's ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. What else did they do there? Well, Middle Earth isn't really, or maybe they did say Middle Earth. I don't know. Oh gosh, the Numenor one, that was really painful. Numenor. Potato Ribbon says, in recent years, Irish culture has exploded in the population. The government are, well, you know. Yes, I know. I see it. But many aspects in Cork City that you'll see, but especially if you go out into West Cork, it's still there. And I have heard more Irish, more Gaeilge being spoken normally in Ireland than I ever did when I was a kid. People actually are just speaking it all over the place. And I have some friends there that they said, yeah, that's a thing. That everyone's trying to keep it alive. Wait, they didn't even say Mordor, right? No, they went Mordor. 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 Laugh out now. Next season, Galadriel is getting acquainted with Ninya. They pronounce it as Nunya. You know what? I'm gonna probably do Rings of Power 1 year later. I am gonna watch it. I was psychologically unable to watch it for several reasons. One, don't want to give those bastardos money or views. At this point, it's not going to make a difference. But also, again, psychologically, I did not want to get those images in my head. I did not. But it's worth talking about. Well, this is modern iconoclasm. Did I say that right? Iconoclasm. All right. Jacob Ironside, was Rings of Prime saying that orcs are Mexicans because that's racist? Well, yeah, that's the other. Oh, don't even get me started. Oh, gosh. Speaking of racist. Potato Reverend said, Irish is now a recognized language in UN and EU. There's now Irish challenges on games. Now games are getting Irish language dubs. Very nice. Very nice. I know they translated Harry Potter into Irish. Every time I go to Ireland, I always make sure my Sunday Mass I go to it in Irish. I don't understand like the sermon, but that's okay. I'm sure he's saying something about Jesus. But I have one of those which has the responses, the people's responses, like you'll find in the pew. I went and bought one for myself to keep, so I do know the responses, and of course the Bible readings are the same, so you can just read those in English. Love the Irish language and singing in Irish. I love singing in Irish. Irish is such a beautiful language. No Bright made the Orcs Mexican. That was Netflix. Oh, racist. Soul Assassin. I got secondhand scoring from modding Mara's Rings of Power review stream. yes. Potato Ribbon says, laugh out loud. OMFG, the Harry Potter VC actors like 40 in the dub. Really? Oh my gosh. Jacob Ironside said, it's so different and stupid from the books, it won't damage anything. Yeah. Well, it doesn't, but it's the same way, like, you know how Jesus is on his throne and all that stuff and great, but when people blaspheme against him, it still sucks. But if there's anything good that might have come out of it is, one, it was not the success it was supposed to be. Two, it introduced a lot of people to the real books. Potato Reverend says, I have Sunday Mass link of different churches. I can DM it to you every Sunday. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, if I'm in Ireland, gosh, I got to get my butt back there. I really do. I'm going to try so hard. There's not money or anything, but, well, first of all, COVID ruined everything. I would go every year, but there's other situations that I have to deal with. I can't be going off overseas right now. Yeah, I go to St. Peter and Paul's in Cork City off of St. Patrick Street. Thank you, though. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Potato Reverend said, current tickets are $3.50 each way now and no COVID restriction. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm going to sound like a snob if you go coach. I go first class. I found it's worth the money, and I arrive so much refreshed because you can actually get a proper sleep and be comfortable on the trip. Though the last time I went, I did go coach because it was connected with my hotel, which is the conference I was attending. So I did do that. But yes, it costs about $700 to $900 if you go coach. It's just a matter of I can't get away. I have the money, I just can't get away right now. Jacob Ironside says, "Say any other cuss word out there, but when someone takes the Lord's name in vain, it bothers me." Oh yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. Um, at the end of the day, I can't tell other people what to do, but under no circumstances do you take the Lord's name in vain. That's a breaking of the second commandment. I have gotten rid of almost all of my vices, but except for f bombs and a few bad words, and that's the last vice I'm trying to get rid of. But never, never the Lord's name in vain. And of course, you speak with respect about the saints and the martyrs. Potato Reverend says, laugh out loud, I'm going business to Boston. Oh, well done. I'm too tall for the economy seat. A woke woman had pronoun pins on and she needed 3 seats. Crushed my leg for 6 hours and I had a panic attack. Yes. And I feel for men. It's misery if you're a man. I get claustrophobic and I'm a rather petite woman. But I know exactly what you're talking about. And you get a proper meal. It's really, really worth it. It costs what? The one I go on, you can get it about $3,000. You just have to save up your money. But I'll also lay this out. I'm also going as a single person. So if you had a family, I don't know. Well, actually, if I was traveling with family, I would sit in the business. And I think they call it business, not first on my airline, but it's basically first class. Put the kids in the back, like on Home Alone. 511. Oh yeah. 950 each way. Okay, there we go. Yeah. I usually go up to Dublin. I think I had that on my Cork video. I fly into Dublin and then take the train down to Cork City. That's still the train that I used to take as a kid. My gosh, what memories. Maybe one of these days we're all going to meet up and hang out. Cork is my love, though. Aer Lingus first class and business are merged. Yes, exactly. And the one I do does that as well. Yes. And the cool thing is you lay your seat turns into a bed and you have a really big comforter and you can put on your seatbelt so if turbulence does happen, you don't have to get woken up and you can still lie down. It's very nice. Yeah, one of these days I'm going to do a video, maybe even a live stream on my Teresa travels of first class. But yeah, when I travel to and from Florida, I guess it's not a secret. That's where I go. Always first class. Why don't you fly into Shannon? It's closer to Cork. You know why? It's more expensive to fly into Shannon, like significantly more expensive to fly into Shannon. And it's also a way that I can get a little bit of Dublin. And I say a little bit of Dublin, I mean a little bit of Dublin. That's enough. Oh, it looks like Stieg is... Oh, he sent something to me. Okay, about the chronological reading order. Wait, but Dub is 300 miles further. Yeah. I'm just saying price-wise, the difference has been thousands of dollars to fly into Shannon versus flying into Dublin and then taking the train. Dublin's a hellhole. Yeah, I've been seeing what's been going on in Dublin. It's really sad. But if you do visit, there's some places you need to visit. Whenever I take people, I always make sure that they go to Kilmainham jail. You need to do that. So I'm really going to end now. Got stuff to do, things to be. So I'm going to sign off. I wanted to thank everyone. Lady Toriel came on, of course. So did Stieg. And everyone in the chat. We had Potato Revan. We had Biggle. Thank you, been with us the whole time. So Jacob Ironside, thank you very much, Jacob. Soul Assassin, Biggles. I said Biggles. If I missed, so we had Salty Texas came in. So did I said Soul Assassin, the Sentinel. If I missed anyone, I sincerely apologize. It is not intentional. It is just because the chat and all that goes by very quickly. The Rocky Road to Dublin, says Jacob Ironside. Adios chat, says Soul Assassin. Thank you. Thank you. Potato Revan says you'll be fantastic. You be fantastic. Have a beautiful and blessed day. And I hope God smiles on you, Jacob Ironside, you as well. Oh, there's Crescent. Speaking of which, hey, thank you, Crescent. You must have been lurking. Thank you very much. Yeah, if you want to hear my thing on lust, not what y'all think. I did a little bit of a rant in the middle there about acts against charity. I don't tolerate rude behavior. Potato Revan, and to you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great day, and be certain to read a good book.